Screencastify. How many of you went to video presentation earlier? We're going to talk a little bit about how to use this tool in conjunction with WeVideo. We're not going to talk about the ins and outs of WeVideo that you guys did earlier. Basically, with this tool, we're going to be able to create some videos we can then plug into WeVideo to kind of expand our editing, our editing capability. So basically, what Screencastify is a screen recording. So like if we're working on something, or maybe we're just doing a PowerPoint, we can record that and have a digital file of that presentation, so you don't have to either necessarily keep presenting it class after class, or especially for our students that are after, it's easier for them to catch up. Should have probably started with this, but introduction. I'm Brian Bolton, a career social studies teacher here at Peacock. If you guys ever need to get in touch with me, my email is bbolton@itaskaten.org or on Twitter @boltonteach. Our objectives for today, just kind of what we're going to be going through over the next hour. I know it seems like a lot that we're going to be going through. We're going to do it very quickly, though. So we're just going to talk about the different uses for this screen recording tool, so you guys can start thinking about, how can I maybe use this in my own classroom, or in a club, or social work, different areas there. So learn how to use it. Probably the thing that's going to take the most amount of time is the setup, just so that we can all have access to this tool. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to do that. We're going to show you how to record video and audio, so you guys can create our videos, so you guys know how you're doing that. And then the last thing I'll show you is just how to take these videos, plug those into WeVideo so that you guys can edit them. This is one of those Chrome extensions that there's two versions of it. You have your free version and you have your paid version. Obviously, the paid version has more tools. My favorite price is always free, though, and that's kind of where the WeVideo thing comes in. It kind of gives us the editing tools that you get with the premium, but you don't actually have to pay for. So we're going to start kind of talking about just different ways that you can use them, and I'll share some of the ways that I've used them. Obviously, there's a long list. Obviously, it's not limited to these things. These are just all the things that I can think of off the top of my head. So the first thing, as I said, I'm a social studies teacher, which is very content-heavy, area. We have to go through a lot of background area, but the way that our class is changing is that, we want to do more of this inquiry. There's not as much time for us to kind of do a lot of this direct instruction. And a lot of times, with classroom behaviors and stuff, going through this direct instruction takes more time. So you can record your lectures, and you guys will actually see I have at the end of this presentation a video of this presentation for you to go through earlier with me using this tool to do so. And it'll take like this hour presentation and able to cut it down into like 8 minutes, and not having to answer questions as we go. But you can record your lectures. This is probably my favorite thing to use it for. I do most of my things in my class through Google Classroom, but oftentimes when a sub is in my room, they don't either have access to my Google Classroom or necessarily know how to use it. So I just tell them there's a video up on Classroom, the kids know how to get there, and I just record myself going through all the resources for that day, so it's like I'm there without actually having to be there. So it's super helpful with that. Other ways to use it, you can have students interview people, record those videos. We're going to talk about the different forms of recording that you can do there. Flipping your classroom, so that's the whole idea behind the recorded lectures, is that they're learning the information through these videos. That way it opens my class up to them actually applying that information. Student presentations, a lot of times students, how many of you guys have done student presentations? The kids are just like super nervous when they're in front of them. We always have that. The kids get stressed out. It's that presentation, anxiety. You can have them have their own PowerPoint presentation in front of them. They record it. They're still working on those same communicating skills, those speaking and listening skills, but without that added anxiety of doing it in front of the actual class. So I've had students record their presentation. Then we just watch the video of their presentation. They don't have to really kind of feel on the spot there. Sharing student work with parents and each other. Again, with those student presentations, when you do those live presentations, they're great, but who's the only people that can see it? The people in the room, right? If you record them, you can expand your audience there. You can really break down the four walls of your classroom and share that student work with each other. I especially like doing it with my classes because, again, I have 5 classes throughout the day. Period 8 never gets to see period 1's work. By having those digital files, I can still go and learn from people beyond their actual class itself. And you can put those presentations so that the parents can actually see their presentations at home as well. If you are going to do the live presentations, you can use this tool as a way for them to practice. Being able to practice those presentations before they actually give them. Students obviously able to teach one another. You can do a newscast or a whiteboard demonstration. If you're doing something on the board that you want to show them a little bit more visual, you can record yourself up at the whiteboard, again, without the distractions of the students in your room, and just kind of have that there for them to go back. Obviously, much more use than that, but those are just a few examples of ways that we can use this tool. And again, as we play with this tool a little bit, you guys can probably kind of think about how to use this in your own classes.
Did you ever use any interactive whiteboard app?
What's that? I have not. But again, that's something, anything that you can pull up on your computer, if you want to do that, like again, a digital whiteboard demonstration, you can do it that way as well. All right, we're going to go through the long and painful process of installing this. So if you guys were able to use that URL there and have the presentation in front of you, if you find this slide here and you just click where it says Screencastify extension, it will take you to the Chrome Web Store so that you guys can add this to your Chrome browser. So you guys are going to have to use Google Chrome in order to get access to this. But if you go ahead and click on that link, it will take you, mine will look a little bit different because I've already added it. But it takes you to this screen here, Screencastify screen recorder. Mine says it's already been added to Chrome.
Yeah. That was already added.
No, I've done it. It said I already have it. No.
If you have already used this tool before, you won't have to go through this process. But you'll go ahead in the upper right-hand corner, click Add to Chrome. Is anybody stuck? Can I keep moving? Once you are there and it goes through and starts adding that, you will see in the upper right-hand corner of your Chrome browser, you'll see an icon that looks like this. So again, it's kind of off the screen here, but you see all these little icons off to the side of your browser. That is where all of your Chrome extensions go. So you want to go, it's like a pink triangle with a little camera in the corner. You will want to go ahead and click on that icon on your Chrome browser. The first time that you do it, you do need to go through and set up your actual account. So once you're here, sign in with Google. It's my favorite button because I don't have to fill out every piece of information. I would highly recommend, it says highly recommended there, this slider here, make sure you check that because it will take all of the videos all your screen recordings and save them automatically to your Google Drive so that you don't lose those. What's that?
If you've already downloaded Screencastify back, like at another seminar,
Make a video.
I think they just updated this.
Try clicking it because I got a big
They did.
but it's still acting up. It was recently.
So if you guys already did this at a previous one, they just updated it. I think the old one automatically
the old one
did this.
automatically dumped in your folder. So if you already had Screencastify, it's definitely going in your folder. The new one allows you to save there or save somewhere else.
Yeah. I would highly recommend saving it to your Google Drive. It's just a lot easier that way. So you press save, sign in with Google. You need to allow permissions, just like anything you sign up with Google, it's going to ask for access to different things, either on your device or your account. For this, you definitely want to have access to your camera and your microphone, and then the drawing and annotation tools, so you can have all of the different features of Screencastify so that you guys can get the most out of using this tool. And then the third thing brings you to a video. I figure instead of all of us watching that video on our own devices, I'll just show that here. It goes through just kind of 101 how to record the videos, the different options that you have. And I'll kind of elaborate on some of these as we after this as well.
Yeah. You have a screen that said it's requesting additional permissions to change all the data on the website to visit.
I would allow everything. Just
Yeah, you have to allow. If you deny it, it's not gonna let you use their extension. You have to sign your life away.
just press allow, and then it'll you're just signing your life away. So. All right, I'm going to play this video real quick. It's just showing us kind of what this tool looks like and how to use that. Obviously, this is just on YouTube, and you guys have access to this presentation to watch whenever to kind of have as just a refresher. That's obviously not. Some of those tools are only available with the premium ones, so you might not necessarily have access to all of those, but so pretty straightforward how to use this. We'll kind of slow that down a little bit just so that we can kind of see that. But that same icon that you clicked on to set up your account is the same way that you activate using this. So if you guys find that that icon again and click that, you will get a drop-down menu that looks just like this. And it gives you a couple different options in terms of recording. As you will see here, with the free version, you get 50 videos that you can create a month. I found out the hard way doing this, kind of putting together my recording of this presentation, that it does count the ones that you don't use. So, you know, if you mess up, it does take away one of those numbers. So, I would suggest, again, these videos don't have to be perfect, but they're kind of there for you just to, you know, obviously they want you to pay for the paid one to get all of those, but I have never needed more than 50 videos for a month using this with my students. So obviously that's there for you. There are 3 different options in terms of what you can record. You have your browser tab, that's this first one here. That will just record the current tab that you have open when you press record. So if you need to look at something else while so if you have to navigate away from this screen, but you only want this screen recorded, you would do that one. I usually do the desktop feature, which just records everything, because I'm usually just looking at this while I'm recording anyways. So again, desktop records everything, and then webcam, you can attach a webcam, or you can just use the webcam, say if you have a Chromebook or a laptop, you can just record from the actual camera itself. So if I kind of show an example of this, if I go here, I press my button, takes a minute. If I want to do webcam only, so you can do it, you just have to select the camera. If I go to press the integrated webcam, that's going to be the camera from my Chromebook just recording my face. So if you just want to record your face talking, you can do it that way. Again, I rarely use that one. I think what's more helpful is if you have like a document camera. So if I select, you know, my hover cam, I press record. It takes a little bit to set up.
4, 3, 2,
I put on, put under there what I want my students to be looking at. I annotate, I think that this is super helpful. I've seen this mostly in math classrooms as they're kind of breaking down their direct instruction of, what the formulas are, have them watch that at home, opens up class to doing more of that practice. In the past it's been, okay, I'm gonna do my direct instruction on my practices homework, kind of just flips it the other way around so you can be there to support. As soon as I'm done recording, I press stop. Just takes a moment to save. We'll open up a new tab for you. I put on, it's everything I was just saying, right? Okay, so there's your recording there. It's another way for you to record. So not only is it a screen recording tool, but you can attach other cameras and whatnot in there as well.
Do the kids have to set up their account?
Yes, the kids would have to set up the account the exact same ways you guys would. And it's already, at least here at Peacock, it might need to be whitelisted for them to add those extensions. I know Julie can probably speak.
Yeah, it's whitelisted at Peacock. We can definitely do it at Francis.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy. They go through those same steps. Just tell them to allow, and then they're able to to do this.
Just on that, how the apps work in our district is, so especially now that you guys are going to have all the Chromebooks next year, we whitelist it, and then the kids can go in and add it. So they can't go in and add any extension they want. Basically, we just have a list of ones that we have approved, and so there's like a request for if you want one approved.
But it's not automatic for that.
No, they are gonna. You would give them. I've given them you would give them the link, just like Brian gave us the link that you could push out a link through Google Classroom. They click it and add, or they know how to use Chrome Web Store. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So from there, after you've recorded at whichever way that you feel comfortable recording, actually the kind of cool thing about the browser tab too, you guys saw the guy in the video, he had a little box of himself off to the side. I've done that once. Yeah, actually, the kids were a little weirded out that I did that, so I stopped. But you can embed the webcam, and then, so say I'm going through the PowerPoint here, I can put my little face in the corner so that they know it's me that's actually talking. Again, did it once, never again. But that's just me. So it really depends on what your purpose for recording is. I had interviews on there. Obviously, if you're interviewing, you're going to want to have the face of the person that you're actually interviewing for this. The really nice thing about this tool, since it is all connected to your Google account, is that it does save it right to your Google Drive. So we can go back to my actual video here. Once you have published your video, you watched it, it looks good, you're going to want to name that. So automatically it's just named the date and the time of your recording. Obviously I would not keep that name, it makes it very difficult to find. So if I'm renaming this, I just go rename it sample video, then I save it. It will automatically go into your Google Drive. It will create, after you create your first video, it's going to create a folder for you in your Google Drive called Screencastify. I know they got really creative with the name, but Screencastify, if I go in there, if I'm ever looking for any of my screencast videos, I click in there. Obviously, I have a whole bunch. You have all the ones I recorded for that actual the video presentation there. But then some of the things I've done in my class as well. I just cleaned this up a little bit, but I had like old subplans in there as well. It saves everything for you. And obviously you can put that, if it goes with a specific unit, you want to organize it differently, you can move it from there. But just for the ease of organization, it saves it in these folders for you. You don't even have to create the folder, it creates it for you. Like I said, automatically in there, good to go. So we're going to move into the kind of the video part of this. I'm not going to show you much in terms of video. I'm just going to show you that with Screencastify, it creates these videos. You can dump them into video, and then you can edit those a little bit. So if you guys set up, actually, we'll just do this up here right now, just because you guys don't necessarily have your recordings to put in there. I can show you with some of the ones that I have. But say I go to WeVideo. And I'm here. Obviously, you see here, this is the video that I created for this actual presentation. But I can show you kind of what this looks like from scratch. So if I go into blank edit, it's going to pull this up, and we're going to create a presentation in like 2 minutes. It's going to be great. All right. So if I just go save it in that folder. So I don't know how much you guys got shown this in the WeVideo one earlier, but what I would do here, this is kind of my blank edit screen. I want to go to my media. And if I have put all of my media for this presentation in one folder, I go open that. And then you'll see I recorded because I wanted this to look nice and pretty for everyone. I did record each kind of part of this presentation separately. That's how I went through like 35 of my 50 videos a month doing that. And I apologize at the end of the video when you guys watch it, you guys are going to hear some crunching in the background. I just got a new puppy and he wouldn't leave me alone to record, so he was just chewing on something in the back. But so I have this, I have my introduction. All I have to do once I've uploaded, so how you upload media here, I go to import media, browse to select whatever video you want to upload there. Obviously, you can do pictures, you can do whatever. To make it easier for this, I just did all my presentations there. Click the ones I needed, and it goes into this folder here. So if I do introduction, I just want to drag that in there. Then you just got to preview.
Hello, everyone.
So that's the start of my presentation. The nice thing about that, since you can't edit these Screencastify videos, the biggest thing that I would like to edit is like the beginning and the end, because sometimes when you're setting it up, you still have to pull up what you want to record. You have a lot of that stuff that you don't necessarily need. If you go on to WeVideo there, as you're doing your preview, you have this blue box here and there's scissors. All I have to do is you go to the part I don't want, you click that out, it splits the clip, so it isolates that one part that you don't want. Now I take this, delete it, and then I just have the part of the presentation that I actually want. Okay, so it just helps you edit it a little bit. It helps you make it look a little bit prettier too. So say I want to do all these, I have all these screen recordings, but it just has slides on there and it's really boring. I want to add some music to my presentation. So let's see if I can find something. So you just pull that under there. So now my presentation has some hard rock music on the background. So you just know that. All right. So obviously you can add some music there. You can add some different transitions. You'll see in mine I did a transition between each kind of different section of this presentation. Let's say I want to put this like right in the middle. I go, instead of just having a boring, just me talking, and as me talking as the music, as a transition to move to the next thing, it just makes it look a little bit more professional. You'll see in mine, I put like a title part on there. I put some other graphics in there. Once you guys have an opportunity to go back and watch that if you need to. But it's a simple way to use WeVideo. It's a simple way to kind of combine Screencastify and really just make it more effective. I always tell my students when they're using this, put it in WeVideo, edit the parts you don't necessarily want, make it look professional. Because this is the part, when you're using this with the students, this is the part that they like. Recording their presentation is the least fun part for them. But really kind of adding that creative piece there really gets them excited about using it. Okay? I know I've been going really fast. Is there any questions up to this point? I just have a few more things, and then the rest of the time will be you to be able to, for you to actually be able to play with this tool a little bit. So we talk about app smashing, just combining different digital tools kind of together. One example of that was obviously Screencastify with WeVideo, but there's way more ways that you can use this with your class. How many of you have ever used Edpuzzle or ever heard of Edpuzzle? So some of you, basically it's you can take the videos and add questions along with the video. So when I do a lecture, yes, it's one thing to give them that background information. It's another thing to see, well, did they get what I was talking about? So I put my lectures into Edpuzzle and questions to go along with my presentation. It's a quick formative assessment. Did they get it? They can watch it as many times as they want. That really helps me because, again, as much as we would love, our students unfortunately aren't there every single day. If we give this, give a lecture or something, a lot of our kids miss it. And oftentimes they fall behind. By putting it in Edpuzzle helps me flip the classroom and still give them that opportunity to learn that information. So I've app smashed with that before. Additionally, how many of you guys have used or have heard of Flipgrid? It's another way to share videos. That's mostly done for students recording themselves and answering a question. You can also upload videos onto Flipgrid. So all of your students, if you want all of your students to share all of their presentations with one another, have them upload there. You have an entire grid of the entire classes, the entire grades presentations. You can even send that home so that parents can kind of see the work, not only their children, but kind of throughout the grade. Just again, another opportunity to break down the four walls. No, that's like a good ending. So again, a lot more uses. Again, we talked about math with the, just kind of doing that direct teaching there. Even like science, you can do like your lab demonstration on the video, and that when they come to class, they know what they're doing. Instead of taking that 15 minutes to tell them what they're doing, you can have the entire class for them to actually work on the lab that they're actually working on. I know Mr. Tempest has done it, used it before. They're kind of sharing their compositions, the music that they're creating. So many uses. Again, I'm sure you guys have your own ideas of how you might want to use this. That's all in terms of me talking at you. I know you guys are sick of me talking at you. I'll let you guys take some time to play with it. Do you guys have any questions? Yes, so you set an answer key, and it's just an automatic grade. Obviously, if you have an open-ended question, you have to go in and check those individually.
If you want to, or I'll throw, I taught Edpuzzle last summer. I'll throw my Edpuzzle presentation into that folder. If you want to just flip through, it gives quick what Edpuzzle is, like what you're doing.
Yes, basically you upload your video into Edpuzzle and add the questions.
It wasn't.
I never used this. Oh, yeah. I didn't like that one.
If anyone would like, I was only able to get my hands on one document camera, but if you guys want to practice making videos with this, I'll leave this up on the front desk, or if anybody wants to volunteer first.
You just plug it in. I tried to use one before. It would not work.
You're my volunteer.
30 days.
Look at that.
Yes. Did you get them on the second? Let me put Edpuzzle in the presentation. If anyone is interested in Edpuzzle or more about Edpuzzle, I just put a presentation that has a whole bunch of screenshots that I taught last summer in the resources page from our website. So you can go through Edpuzzle.
No, I didn't. Like,
Yeah, so right now,
I'm like, what back?
Oh, okay.
And then we'll get it. I already
Oh, I got it.
I like that. That was the
They can use it to like introduce themselves.
So I can put it inside on the.
So I'm supposed to sign on there from them for the end of the month. Who told me to teach it out? And notes I have to quote and train.
Okay, good.
So,
Now,
what else? Who else? Somebody else over here?
How earlier it's making you were trying to join
I can put the link. I can just share you. I'll share it.
Thank you.
I have it too.
This is the one that I use. I just think it's easy.
Have you tried any other ones?
Unless you say it's Screencastify.
Yeah.
I feel like that one's
Screencastify has to be downloaded onto the software. You can't run it on the
I think that's
That's why I switched to Screencastify. I couldn't find another good one for Chrome.
Yeah.
So we can use it, kids could.
Oh,
I
so-
can use it.
No, because you need the software on your,
Castomatic
Yeah, I can use that.
on your Chromebook or laptop?
I feel like I did mine on my Chromebook, right?
I'm positive I do, or did I do it on my?
It, for sure, I used to do it all the time with STEM videos. And then when I switched
then it
to
pops up.
Chromebook, I couldn't, so
Yeah, so
it
if
is definitely
use
possible
Chrome,
to change
use
since
Chrome
then, but
on your
it used to
desktop,
have to have.
use
software on
Screencastify on there.
I mean, I didn't, I do, I'm pretty sure I did.
Julie, did you want to do the classroom with see if
So upload, so that's what I did here, this, because I took this
Because we
Google
didn't
Slides
have
presentation and I just recorded myself giving the presentation.
That was it, just Michelle.
So when you're, so if you have like a slide.
So what I did was a tutorial I set up
This,
for
and I go to
the
press
sixth graders
this.
to join, but it's.
And then you just press like record desktop, and then you do the embedded webcam. You press record and then just give your presentation that way.
You already made one.
That's usually what I do for my lectures, is I just have my slides and I'm talking, you know, my.
Why would it not? Well, thank you.
There's so many, like, I've done it before, I didn't think it would work with this because I usually use it for. Oh, I have to like, uploading it to the whole thing. So what's, you guys like Google Sites, you can put everything up on the site, that's just a little.
You could just do
Oh, like how long you're gonna say.
Oh, there, join with the.
It's just a matter of sharing a link to the kids.
Oh, the other ones that, the other ones that.
Oh.
Because that's, I made that tutorial. Gotcha. So,
It uploads to 5 minutes, so it's. I haven't necessarily done it. I've done Google Sites.
Are we
in the past.
getting the video again?
I would not recommend it.
I have a quote from the guy and Craig has given me a verbal yes.
That's fine. The last time we were in
We, that one we're using, we bought this.
So would that be?
PTO bought it for us. It's free for like a very short, like, you can use it free for like.
And that's how you would
2
combine
minutes.
the ones that you.
It's a very short and no story.
Yes,
That's not what we have this year.
or you
This
can
year,
break it up
everyone
into
has
different,
a-
I would do a video though, just to break it down.
We bought it for the district, we bought 300 licenses,
Exactly. And
and then the kids
All right.
signed up through a link. Like I did it, and just, he has also given me a verbal yes on that as well. I have a quote. You can write your music.
That's what I was thinking, I can make my own music video, push them out.
So,
Yeah.
or, that's a great question. So Horizon just asks, is there a time limit in the free version? You only can take a maximum of like a 10-minute recording. But again, I've never done a straight shot of one recording for 10 minutes without messing up. So that's why I try to break it up into a couple different recordings. But that's like, with the paid version, you have like a limited time to.
And that's like 3 minutes per.
We video, I think, is like, to make it as long as. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, so if you film a telescope, you're not just. You know, if a film I would think it's a regular. Because I might have to maybe 20 minutes, 20 minutes. That's just the intro.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
At least that was small.
I know, I'm usually moving around.
Yeah, but no, this is the sheet of the box.
I know, his session is, the next slide, his session is in screencasting.
So that's the whole section.
So what I did, like I said before, if you guys go, and like again, I know this is the last session of the day,
And they got to-
and all our brains are fried, so if you did not hear anything that I said today, I did put together a recording and going through all the same things I just talked about. But I use Screencastify and WeVideo because that's good teaching, right? Modeling for your student, right? Okay. So obviously you can play that. There's a couple other things on there. Obviously using the WeVideo tools on there, but it's like 8 minutes going through everything. It took me half an hour to just go through.
No, I think it's one over the other.
What's that?
What's using one or the other? I'm not familiar with.
WeVideo or basically Screencastify. If you want to like go through and record a lecture, you're just recording your screen. That's how you create a video, and then you take that
Just
video.
whatever on the screen as opposed to.
And then, but then I use it with, so it's not, I don't use one or the other, I use them both, so that I can edit, so I can edit.
I use Screencastify all the time without editing too, because like I make short little tiny tutorial videos, like somebody needs to know how to change this part of their website, and I'll just do it, 1 minute video.
I always mess up ending the videos though, I end up having to like click on there again, it takes me like, just like another 15 seconds of me like fumbling around trying to do that, so I just like it because in the video then I can take that.
It does look nicer and cleaner, depending on what you're using.
Well, it's because like if I'm doing a lecture, I have a PowerPoint I want to share with my kids. It's like Google Slides for them rather than trying to mess
I
around
don't know,
with
I
text.
get why you use the screencast, like right now I'm doing Fuzzy, but
Yeah.
I don't understand why you do it video.
Again, because I'm doing the lecture with the PowerPoint, then
Or
I
why
want to be
would
able,
you
I want to
do
be able to
PowerPoint
edit it.
in- I
Because
guess
you,
that's-
I mean, I think you can screen record. You can take like a regular recording with your camera, but if I want to show them something on my screen, I need to use Screencast.
Because those topics are very sensitive. Oh, I know that. That you can't
But
show
I can't show
the slide.
my PowerPoint. Get rid of that. 'Cause you can't screen record. You can just use this camera. So if I want to use that, you can. But if you want to record your screen, that's why.
I got that.
I can't.
That's what I was
The kids don't want to
Okay.
see all this.
Can you not, okay, that, I was trying to find it, you can't screencast on video, right? Okay.
You can just use the camera on your device to record right in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. So when kids start, is it just they have it from, like, is it like a Google Classroom, like, how it's separated by subject?
And listen, it's called romantic joke. What do you mean?
Well,
Sign
they
up for
log
Webcam.
in, it's just all their videos are there from all the subjects, or if they're like-
From all, so whatever they use Screencast for, they do that. I would have them move them, like if they have different subject folders,
You could
move
create-
them there. That's just where they all go initially, so if you're looking to find those, they're all. You can save video, like files into more than one place too.
So like I have recorded all these.
Yeah, but they're recording themselves. So if you wouldn't have them record their screen, like I had kids do like a present.
Like a presentation, like they're going through their Google Slides, but just,
Gonna be the
This is Yeah, but they share. No, I did it all online.
So, video, we had a hard time with them turning that.
I don't think
I would have like download and save and drive. And then I have them like take those videos.
having to do click through and pull everywhere.
We're not here. That's it.
Seesaw, I thought you said one other thing.
So it saves that it's a video file in their Google Drive, it's the same.
So then having to share,
10
like,
seconds.
I struggle with doing screenshot. Oh, yeah, that's, honestly, that's what I do. I've been Googling all the different things I have, and seeing which pieces of what makes like. And then I go, then they're gonna change themes.
So when you have a video, if you would rather go up on YouTube instead of.
I know that's the
Drive, you can set your destination.
We video, my video, your video.
So that's another way.
well, then you can do that.
I don't have to just I have to just download it as a file.
Oh, sure. I'm at the end of the file.
Then you can upload those files, that's where the flip comes in that play where you can upload it in there, that's how.
Right there.
More
Okay,
advanced.
so you want right there, go to the scissors button. Now this is two pieces, now take that.
Letter's all right. Why am I doing this? Yeah, you will treat this as a red breaker. 5%. So unfortunately,
I'm just like for kids.
but they got some like creativity.
I did like about it.
We got the school track and then like hiding.
Working out.
Like guys, open up.
Not a good idea, boys.
We gotta play.
What you were saying, I didn't have to like over a lot. I just wasn't like working one day that happened. It's like every day. Like once you have to there was,
I know, sometimes
I was like everything for that next club.
Like when I go to my lectures and stuff, I spend a whole hour, and it helps to make sure it's the same thing.
I'm doing this.
And sometimes you get like some classes that are an hour questions, discussions, and presenting.
I know.
Order that classes. And then those other questions are gonna come in, important projects and stuff.
I can get it if I put it on.
On a daily basis.
I'm sorry, guys.
And we should be getting a page video, guys. We should be getting it.
So they knew somebody was.
Actually, for Boston, yeah. So he can be sorry.
They sent us a video.
Amy, the reason I think Greg's chat was I found that presentation folder in our folder. So everyone did, but you did. But I still told you, oh, fun. What about anyone else for presentation? I
Here's the thing.
Teacher has control.
He's doing subtitle.
Hey, what's up? All right.
Yeah.
Start with that because it's like appreciation. I'm all about limiting the amount of
Right. Right. It's like. I know, because I get lost. It is a lot, it's a very short version. And you always have that. So it was really fun. I hate it. I think everyone. Well, last year when I also.
So it's like the worst thing. Or we like, you've mellowed it out, it's not as dark as.
Well, because it was really dark, I go on the second night hike, and I had kids like, you know, they're all ahead of me, it's all in the woods. And I had Dennis tomorrow clinging to me after you'll never die. I'm like, dude, how long do you want to 2 minutes? Someone says,
I'm having a flashlight and you see all you
Maybe I'll just say that 6th grade. It's just, it's, I'm like, okay, what do you want? Yes. Yeah.
because you guys, that's out, if you go so far, you guys.
The story.
So I can start well, it's all like, oh, it's plugged in our,
We ran out of time and they weren't able to present it for the class. So I have all these.
I love it though.
yeah, I've never.
Let's see.
No, that's fine. And then I moved into, but it is just.
So they would just record and then they would click, okay, so when this comes here, then they go, yeah, then they just do this. I can't get on. So maybe it's at. And I'm not.
Did you give out your raffle tickets?
Yeah.
That would take a lot of effort.
And then they would cook me instead of this.
That would have been the day.
So they just talk and then this would just, then we just put video on it. Yeah, that's what I should do.
It's for the club. I'm gonna make sure you would, like, I took everyone else in, I was the
Good. See, that's, because I don't have it, and then they just put it in weed video. And also I had this.
Most of them.
But I could just have them do this and then we can all look on it and then, yeah, because I don't have a lot of time though, that's the thing to watch stuff. So then we can just make it. And then it just goes into a folder, or how do they do this?
So now that we have this.
It's like that.
Just playing teacher. You wanted to be a star? What? Say, Amy wanted to tennis with you.
It's not there yet. Because it still is great.
I know they're.
Oh, I don't know about,
I'm a quiet So make sure if you're not gonna be here.
But then how
You know what, and actually because
So if you upload this file on there, you can see the entire. Stuff. You take that.
So you can't do that.
It's an extra step, but it's a way. If parents are like, well, what do you do?
No.
Why did they give this on their presentation? Show them like, well, they did this, you know,
It's like there's this, the teachers would have to.
You're only Jane. Yeah, I can't remember. I mean, they were both kind of saying the same thing.
Every kid has a device, let me do it well.
That's why I have a hard time giving like examples, because I'm like, just an example. In my little square of social studies, you know, so for me, the thing that makes the most sense is the lecture. It's like, I don't have time to do all these big important projects and do a 30-minute PowerPoint. Because a 30-minute PowerPoint turns into a 5-minute video.
You have to, we should write it. We need to divide out who and where and where. So I think it comes down via email. You want to figure out. We should figure out maybe some kind of part of lunch. That's what no, but all the.
This presentation is competitive against musicians and music, but helping them fade the music in is like.
Yeah, I don't think I put giraffes in your second right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
All right, last. Good to go. Thank you, everyone.
That was good, thanks, Troy.
What's that? So you want to just, so you can also do it where you take pictures of your slide and screenshots, and then you can do a voiceover in the video. I like using Screencastify because it helps me. It's one less piece of time that I have to line up. It just does it for me. So audio, video. There's no such thing. So you do control, shift, this one, and you just.
And asked who was interested, and so people.
Squares with the 2 lines. I think there's a way to just take a picture of the whole screen. I like to just take out the piece that
Like you're right, Mike, it's just, they need like an introduction, like,
That would be awesome.
hi, my name is.
Thanks, see ya.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mike.
I know for that.
Bye, Michael.
Hasta luego, adios.
You know, and then.
Well, yeah, you know, even with the 8th grade, like your family tree, they could just. Yeah.
Who knows?
Or you-
You know,
sorry,
I
my
keep saying
favorite
all
use
this
of
and then
those
it's
subplants.
different.
You know, it's right there, but it's not like makes sense of it.
So you just put it on class on that? You just put it on.
So and then I attached the video onto like an announcement, what with the agenda for the day, of like tell the kids to go there and see what they're doing there.
Good evening from Matt.
But I also typed it up for them so they at least know they can't see the video. So
Good job, Bolton.
thanks, Hollis. Thanks for
Good
making
job,
my life
Brian
difficult.
Bolton.
That was pretty good.
I actually.
Sorry, did I drag you through?
10. Oh, you left stuff on the floor.
Some zipper, writing standards. I need, oh, red text, is this yours? Did you go to this one? How was this one? Yeah.
Oh,
Someone gotta turn off the.
somebody's got the Chromebook still casting.
Oh, I know that one. Cause I walked right in front of it when I came in earlier, so what are you gonna do?
If anybody would like some food to take home tonight to feed yourself or your family, meet Mrs. Beats down in the cafeteria. Thank you.
Bye.